It's amazing what you'll do for wheat. In 1969, Australia told its farmers, hey, grow less. Why? Because prices were falling and the government wanted to stabilize the market. But when Leonard Casley saw his harvest slashed by 95%, he didn't write an angry letter. He opened a history book. He found a dusty clause in British common law that basically said, if the Crown messes with you, you can opt out. Casley took that personally. So, on April 21st, 1970, he did what any logical man would do, seceded. He declared his wheat farm an independent nation, named it Hutt River, appointed himself prince, and if you're wondering what the neighbors thought, they probably just asked if this affected their cattle fences. But Casley wasn't joking. He sent legal documents to the Governor General. When taxmen came knocking, he handed them a homemade diplomatic immunity card and probably offered them tea. The absurdity had officially gone international. Running a country is tough. Running a fake country is tougher. But Leonard was in it for the long haul. He didn't just slap a flag on a tractor and call it a day. No, he created a whole bureaucratic fantasy. Passports, visas, titles of nobility, you name it. Over 14,000 passports were issued, many to collectors or, let's be honest, people just trying to skip airport queues. The Hutt River currency, real printed notes featuring Leonard's very serious face. The military, his sons in plastic helmets patrolling with broomsticks, and when Australia ignored his existence, he built a tourist economy. You could visit, get knighted, and take home a souvenir coin, all before lunchtime. His greatest diplomatic achievement: confusing tax authorities so badly they weren't sure if they could legally tax him. For decades, Leonard paid zero income tax. In the war of farmer versus bureaucracy, Leonard was winning, with flair, fabric, and a flag stitched by his wife. Now here's where things get entrepreneurial. Prince Leonard turned sovereignty into a side hustle. You see, while other micronations threw costume parties, Hutt River had a business plan. For just $100, you could become a knight. Add another $50 and you were a baron. Want to be an ambassador? Sure, just don't expect a salary or a desk. He sold stamps, coins, t-shirts, and honorary titles to curious tourists and confused monarchists. His tax-exempt status became his biggest asset. School field trips rolled in. So did foreign journalists, documentary crews, and even a few conspiracy theorists hoping to invest in independent real estate. Leonard's Micronation was no longer just a protest. It was a cottage industry. Or, well, a palace industry. He even claimed trade relations with other micronations like Sealand. Was it legal? Not really. Was it profitable? For a while, absolutely. Prince Leonard may have lost his wheat, but he gained a kingdom and a thriving gift shop. What do you do when the government cuts off your mail? You declare war, of course. In 1977, Leonard mailed Canberra an official declaration of war. No tanks rolled in, no battles were fought, but the media, oh, they loved it. Suddenly, the tiny Hutt River was global news. Leonard claimed victory when mail resumed, because obviously. But as the decades rolled on, the fantasy started to fray. His son Prince Graham tried to modernize the kingdom, but wheat still didn't grow, and the taxes, oh, the taxes, came back with a vengeance. In 2017, the Australian Tax Office dropped a $3 million bill on the royal desk. Leonard, by then in his 90s, refused to pay. He died a rebel. In 2020, the principality was dissolved, the land sold, the palace shuttered, and the final insult? The proceeds went straight to pay off the taxes Leonard had spent 50 years dodging. But hey, he once said, I outlasted 21 Australian prime ministers. And honestly, that's more than most royals can say. The story of Hutt River isn't just about tax law or land rights. It's about one man's relentless creativity. Leonard Casley didn't want to conquer, he wanted to not be bothered. And in his own wonderfully weird way, he succeeded. He took on bureaucracy with a typewriter, a crown, and a kayak named HMAS Shed. And for half a century, his empire of imagination stood tall in the wheat fields of Western Australia. He never ruled a real country, but he ruled his own life on his own terms. And that, dear viewer, is what makes him one of the greatest DIY monarchs history has ever seen. If you've ever wanted to start your own country, or at least visit one without leaving your couch, then you're in the right place. From self-declared kings to nations smaller than your backyard, we explore the weirdest borders and boldest rebellions history forgot. So, hit that subscribe button and join our not-so-official micronation of curious minds. No passports needed, just curiosity, sarcasm, and a slight distrust of paperwork. Welcome, fellow citizen, to the Republic of Ridiculous Realities.